Hi everybody! Welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. And by that, someone asked me, like, what do you mean by D&D our way? It means two things. One, we play to have fun. But two, Materia we use a system called 1.5. It's
Nope.
something that,
Nope. It's not
that's
what it's called.
1.5. Wow, wow, my brain. Woo! 5.M. Jeez, I don't know where that came from. 5.M. The M stands for Materia. It's 5th edition D&D that we've modified to just fit our playstyle and keep up with the power creep and stuff that happened over the 7 or 8 years that 5e has been out. So there's your quick answer. Thanks to my players for always being my guinea pigs and always playing along. So Materia D&D. We're picking up with session 153. It is the Crass Menagerie's story. Our lovely band of adventurers that are bashing skulls and killing cannibals and blood cultists. So, in the last couple of sessions, the menagerie has been traveling through the open plains, a region on the continent of Rune, that borders the nation of Kled, and they have been traveling essentially north. Let me put up the map actually so people can see what we're talking about if they're watching. They've been heading northwest on our map, originally traveling with some other companions along the blue line from West Green to Hill Bottom, and then from Hill Bottom they headed up north to the jungles, and then they kind of split within the jungles. One group, Pumat and his contingency, went to the ruins inside the jungles, while the menagerie continued forward onto a resting point, and then they stopped. They scouted out a riverside village that was raised quite a while ago. There, Cielo and Lunlun saw what was going on. Cielo found a rundown temple, but it was still being in use within Panglin. The village of Panlin. It's actually something I completely forgot to give my players the name of the place. Um, they he was able to track down some of the cannibals and the cultists in this temple, and while he was in there, okay, Ziggy, that's interesting. He almost closed everything. He saw that a ritual was going on. Realizing that this was a nope situation, Cielo made an escape, and on the back of Lunlun, rushed over to his companions that were taking not their time, but Cielo scouted ahead. So they made a beeline back to his companions, explained the situation, and the Crass Menagerie then double timed it to the raised village. While on the outskirts of the raised village, they did take note of many effigies of bone and sinew, similar to what they found at the campsite at Hillbottom. And the menagerie decided the best way to draw out the threat is to make a bunch of noise. Doing so, they drew out numerous cannibals and blood cultists, and they dispatched them fairly quickly, leading them to get to the temple. Within the temple, the rituals were still going on, and the menagerie did eventually engage. While engaging, the head leader of this group was the blood-soaked linen-garbed man. Was continuing his rituals, continuing his sacrifices, while some of his cannibal raiders and marauders fought off the menagerie as best they could, but the menagerie did prevail. Seeing that things were not going well, the cultist sacrificed his companions, drawing their blood to the center sacrificial pool that he had created, and from it a blood elemental was spawned. The menagerie did a fairly good job of dealing with the blood elemental, actually causing it to become confused, greatly limiting its potential, and it did eventually manage to slip away via blood sportation, aka teleport via blood, and they did track it down shortly after, but to their grimace and some would say to their horror, they found where the numerous corpses of the captured civilians from West Green's raid on Tristan Day, and were held as more than a dozen bodies were reanimated as puppets by the blood elemental and marched towards the menagerie. However, they were able to dispatch them quickly. Upon removing whatever current presence of the blood cult was still within this temple in the raised village of Panlin, the menagerie took center sites on the central statue and effigy within the temple. A thrown together, rotund, overweight, bulbous kind of creature figure that had a large snout, big bulging eyes, sitting cross-legged with its belly being basically held in, kept from overflowing by its crossed legs. Looking at the statue, Ben, Cielo, and Rock realized that there was something wrong, realizing that upon tapping on it, it sounded hollow. So the group broke into the statue and exhumed what was the original statue. There sat a pangolin in almost like a meditative position, with its large scaled tail wrapped around it, its hands in a very peaceful kind of state, very pleasant expression on its face, finally freed from its spiritual prison, I guess you would say, as the spirit that the statue represented was able to re-inhabit the shrine and spoke to the three that were in the room, introducing itself as BaWu, the spirit of the scale, and telling them of the land. That Danny, actually, Davis, since you did such a good job with the notes, do you mind telling what were the main things that you took from its conversation with the group?
Sure. Yeah, he's been weakened. Says he's been forgotten and trapped for some time. We did a great deed to a spirit we do not know. Sad he feels there's nothing but suffering in the area. He's not completely forgotten. Then asked what our purpose was, and we basically told him. He says he's one of the spirits that call these lands home. Says the red tides seem to have washed over these lands and in recent years twisted. But he's still aware of some of the changes. And he says that these cultists seek to understand secrets hidden within these lands, and the offerings that they provide are abhorrent and not for one of my kind. They seek to change what I represent. And then he gave us the gifts, the 2 dowsing rods, and it says for us to use it to find a secret that will aid us in combating the threat. And that he says that we will find that the hidden secrets are not all pleasant among the open plains. The 2, dowsing rods that we hold will guide us to the first stop on understanding what has transpired in recent and distant history, and that he wishes us safe journeys, and he will grant what little protections his scales can provide in his weakened state. That's what I got.
Thank you. Yep. Nicely done. So, with that, the 2 dowsing rods that were brought up, something that was picked up by Ben's keen eyes was that the false statue, the false effigy that was plastered over BaWu's true shrine, it had 11 fingers and 11 toes, and upon breaking off of the extra digits, there were vellum-wrapped dowsing rods in each. So, with that, rocks create, destroy. So create water has been storm clouding it up in, well, not necessarily storm clouding it, but raining down within this room, purging all the blood away. Karos and Davis were rushing back to the shrine room as they were, when Karos was checking to see if there was any other threats within the temple, and Davis was helping Al and Lunlun escort the few survivors. And it's a slow process because the cannibals took efforts to injure their feet so that it would be more difficult for them to run if it was even an option. The lights that were within the eyes of BaWu's statue as it provides its final blessings do begin to fade. The various candles that were set up here begin to diminish, and the intensity of light kind of stay alit thanks to the power that brought them light, but they are very, very weak and flickering due to all the moisture in the air. And the statue then of BaWu goes inert. Karos, would you hear his footsteps because he's not holding his breath? So you hear the clattering of his armors as he turns the corner, looks in, sees the three, Ben, Cielo, and Rock standing. Everything okay? You said to get here.
Yeah, we're okay. Weird stuff just happened.
We're often surrounded by weird. What do you mean?
Like this statue thing. Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you said something about it moving, coming to life. It looks.
Yeah. He told us some stuff and gave us. Who did he give the things to?
I think Ben has one, and I think you have the other.
And the other, so he gave us these, and they're supposed to help when we get out of here, I guess.
Okay, so alright, no threats. Okay.
No danger. Just weird. It's been a lot of weird in here.
Got it. Davis, if you were continuing to run here, you would be approaching now.
Yeah. Hey, you. It's a different mess in here. The blood is gone, but what did you guys do to this statue?
We're fine, by the way. Nothing, just weird stuff. No danger.
Okay.
I don't think there's any danger. Yeah.
Ben is just looking at Rock like, yeah.
you do still have the telepathic bond for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh no, I get that, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
Ben
Yeah.
is giving it a look like that's not how I would explain it, but sure, we'll go with that.
I get you.
Yeah. So, what? I mean, okay, you're fine, but it sounded like something weird was happening. That's why I came.
Davis, go ahead and roll a perception check. If someone wants to roll a perception check for Karos, go ahead.
I shall. I haven't rolled the dice in a long time.
Yeah. I haven't
don't
either.
know.
I have cats.
I don't know what the bonus form is, but I rolled a 10.
He gets
10,
advantage. Too. All right,
does
so
he?
if it's with sight, which
Is it with sight?
Yeah, it is with sight.
Then not 12.
So what is it? 10? Is a
12.
12 plus
Plus
perception. 10. 22. Okay.
mine was a 10.
And then 10 flat. Okay. Davis, yeah, you don't notice, but then Kara says he's listening to what he's become used to, Rock's really poor description of situations. Looks over his shoulder and then sees and notes that that central altar and statue have been broken into, and that the true entity has revealed. He says, I see we were temple diving or crypt breaking. I don't know what you call this.
Through the bond, because only way I can really speak clearly. Like, we discovered that there was an idol temple altar, if you will, of another being underneath it, and it gave us some items and also gave us a warning. And I'll show one of the items that it gave us. You said I had one.
Yeah, you had. So Rock showed one, and now, yeah.
And then I'll say it gave us a warning about some of the. And if I missay this, please correct me. That some of the things that we may be encountering or discovering may not be quite great for us to have.
Good interpretation of it. Yeah.
Cryptic but descriptive.
Ah,
And
great.
I'll look at Rock like, is there any other clarification we need?
That these will be useful in the things that we need to do. Say what those things were, though.
And what do we need to do? I mean, we know what we need to do, but what does it think we need to do?
Carlos will speak up. He's like, we need to get to that dig site, right? And
Yeah.
help.
Yes.
Hope.
Yes. Apparently, I don't know, and this may be my interpretation, Adam, but it seems like they may be defiling other temples for their own needs, and that's not right.
Yeah.
That's definitely one way for, at least for clarity from Adam to James, is that they being the cannibals and cultists, not the Heralds of Exploration College
Oh,
of
right,
Fascination.
right.
Correct.
Yeah, just making sure that you realize
Yeah.
two very separate
True.
groups. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I can't say they're not doing that. I just know
Fair,
that I
fair.
do know that the cannibals are doing it.
Yes. Because the best way that I can describe it is what you have exhumed, right? That was a properly carved shrine to this BaWu, where what you had broken away was like mud plaster, right? And there's just like kind of slapped on there and kind of given this form of this bulbous entity. If you are proficient in religion,
I was getting
and
ready to ask if I could do a religion roll.
yeah, you're proficient in religion, and you're in this room, you can go ahead and roll. But Ben, what were you wanting to ask about it? Like,
No,
what do you?
I was going to ask, first off, do I know what a penguin is? I've ever seen one
Pangolin?
before.
Pangolin.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pangolin.
I'm assuming it's a penguin race. Me and James I've never heard of it, so.
Oh yeah. They're
yeah.
cute.
A pangolin. If you want to, you can roll me a nature check, because they are, not necessarily
Yeah,
the most
I screwed
common
that nature
in-
check up. I got a 1, 2
Yeah.
with a -1.
Oh,
Ben looks at this, looks at the shape, and it looks as alien to Ben as the blasphemous effigy.
Has Ben looked alien to everybody else?
Yeah,
True.
exactly. It's
Good
kind of
point.
like alien on alien right now.
So on the
So-
religion check, I want to see if I may have come across the name. If so, I know we loosely do alignment, but is it more towards good, more towards neutrality, more towards law, chaos, whatever?
All right, and I will add on the other religion stuff. So, okay, if you're in this room, go ahead, and you are proficient in religion. you can
Nice.
roll.
19, 21, 25.
Damn.
All right, 25.
You beat me. So,
Holy shit, that's a first.
Is that with
I'm,
guidance?
19.
19.
Oh wait,
Okay,
no, look at that. I rolled 5, so 14.
14. Yeah. I rolled a 5. It's a 14.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
No, I beat him, right? He rolled a 5. I rolled a 19.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So, 19. You mean, yeah. There's the obvious elements that, again, I think you guys have picked up on, that this was obviously a shrine to someone else or to something else. With the 19, you're not sure who BaWu is or what BaWu was, but with your brief interaction with him, it didn't seem malicious or malevolent, right? It just seemed in a weakened state. Ben, with your 25 total, yeah, I mean, this is definitely an approach that followers of something could use to try to wipe out the previous religious impact of, or religious memory of a spirit or an entity or a belief. BaWu you don't know of, you've never heard of BaWu. 25 is good, but that does indicate you that it's not necessarily like this greater deity or greater aspect. It's something lesser, maybe of like a local land spirit, which is kind of what you picked up on when you discussed with him. Like a spirit of the lands, or
Yeah, I'm
something along
assuming
that
I
line.
know that the balance, you need to have those.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm assuming that I also would realize that deities, lesser or greater, whatever, get their power from worshipers, and taking those away would diminish them. So I
Yes.
will let group know that I believe that this is a regional god of some sort, but it appears that the cultists, the cannibals, whatever we want to call them, are trying to diminish their its power. And I can infer that probably any others that are regional in this area for whatever purpose. I'm not sure.
Um, uh, based on that discussion that you heard from him, Ben, with that 25 religion, you also know that, you know, they seem to be willing to point you in the right direction by giving you these 2 relics, as they are said to point you in the right direction, but as it stated, anything and everything that you could find might not be as pleasant or as useful as you would want. And then just it strikes you again that it reiterated that the people that are doing these actions are seeking things for their benefit, for power or whatever. And the way that they're doing it is what you really notice and you don't necessarily like. And that's what that 25 really ticks you over, is that there is some religious doctrine and religious faiths that spilling blood, be it like, is it flagellation, like where you whip yourself or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. Like
Flagellation.
that.
Yeah, not
With a
flatulation,
G.
but
Yeah.
flagulation.
Flagellation. Yeah. Like that is some, but the forced doing it to others is almost always bad, always negative. And when you're looking at that statue one time over, because you can see part of that mud plaster from the face had crumbled, a large enough piece has fallen over, and you can see like that eye is looking at you. And you look at the size and the shape of it, it gives you very much a fiendish, like a fiend's, what someone might interpret a fiend to look like.
Okay.
So
I know that Rock is a very intelligent person, as is Karo, so I will
Hey.
look at them.
Hey,
What?
Right.
I didn't say you weren't intelligent. I said they're very intelligent.
Yeah.
So I will look at them and kind of point that out and say, do you get the same vibe that I'm getting? That seems like it's some kind of maybe lower planar creature feel from it, or is it just me? And then whenever you said flagellation, I want to look at some of the bodies if they're still here and see if some of them could have been whip marks versus like we were assuming they were cut marks.
none of the bodies are here, but you do walk over to where you did have to slay some of the bodies because they were turned into puppets. Many of them had like glyphs and other etchings like cut into their flesh. The biggest thing that you'll see amongst all of them, and this is the ultimate cause of death, was that they were all scalped.
Ugh.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
they were. So the way that they looked, and this is because Cielo was there. What they were doing, they were taking them in pairs, putting them at the feet of, well, I guess the belly of the beast on the altar, and they scalped them, and their heads were facing each other, and their blood was pooling and running down the altar, and just gathering in the center of the room, and that was their offering to the spirit, so that it would show them the way, so that they could attain the power that's hidden within the land. If anybody wants to, you can. That's in there. So sorry, Allegretto. You can give me a history. It's a recent history check, because maybe it'll jar someone's memory on things that were said, since we've been playing kind of sporadically.
Believe it or not.
Oh, what'd you get?
18.
18. Okay, nice.
I rolled a 19 and it's -1.
Nice. And it actually kind of makes sense, because I think it was the person that you were talking to that may have said this. Anyone else with the recent history, or are you guys good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Because I'm good at that. No, no. Davis is better.
All right. So with the 18, Davis.
I feel like you could almost port your 2 and still be my.
It would be a 16, I think, if you ported it
Yeah.
or something like that. So with the
Yeah.
18, Davis, when you were speaking to the injured dwarf from the Heralds of Exploration,
Oh yeah.
He did mention that they it it is not just rumored, but it has been kind of confirmed by his associates, so that Varson and Tane,
Right.
that they do indeed seem to be spilling blood in a. The belief is that they spill the blood to appease whatever spirits or deities, rather than like giving them fruit baskets and carving effigies and stuff like that to them. They are just fuck it, kill as much as we can, spill the blood, get
Okay.
the lifeblood into the land to make the land on their side, essentially, is what they believe, and it will reveal the secrets within the open plains.
And I want to say I think this is me as a player, not Davis necessarily. I think didn't like Ofuma or Yorn or somebody back in Whitlaw say something similar when those blood letters were there as well, something like that.
It was a hunch, right?
Gotcha.
That the reason they were able to exist is because the land is being twisted.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, so I would share that with the group and be like, yeah, this is what was it Varson that said it? You said
it was Rafa when you were talking
Rafa,
to him,
right.
and it was Varson and Tane are his 2 associates that act as scouts or whatever, right?
So yeah, I'd be like, yeah, you remember back in the Sunlit Spire? We were talking to that guy. He just kept going on, and yeah, he was talking about spilling blood as basically their form of offering you guys. Like, also, wait, you said this was and I kind of look at it. Do I know what animal this is? Like, or I mean, I at least recognize it as like an animal kind of thing, right?
Yeah, you can give me a nature check if you want to.
Sure. Not
it's
great.
not
9.
necessarily native to where you come from.
9.
No, I mean it's not that common of an animal. You're not from this region.
But at least do I recognize it's like an animal?
You realize that it's a hodgepodge that looks like an animal. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're like, looks kind of animal, but looks kind of weird.
Okay, then I'm gonna do one more of my own checks. Yeah, nope. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
Adam, can we say, or you can make that the 13 prophecies or whatever that they got from the
Mothras.
would we have possibly talked about that or anything like that, or any of the other encounters they had in Green Hill?
I haven't heard you guys bring it up to Ben or Cielo, so I don't know. I don't think you guys would have at this point.
I didn't know if while we were traveling or whatever, just generic
Broad
conversation.
strokes, probably, just because, I mean, Davis fucking sure likes to talk about that shit, and especially, like, if you ask about his glaive ever, some of that's on there.
Got it, okay.
But, so that's your own discretion, I would say.
Okay, so I'll say, I'll kind of look at Davis and actually the rest of the original group that were there. Wasn't there something that happened in Green Hill with sacrificing or something like that to appease the gods, or am I mistaken about that?
I mean, like, the ladies would, like, give up their eyes and stuff, and I mean, they weren't killing people, but I don't know if that was sacrifice.
Okay. And then, but didn't you guys mention something about that there's ways to get power from souls or people or something like that? Something about when you were in the swamp with the hags?
Where I leave it to you guys.
I was gonna say, I
mean, what you guys have figured out, because I know.
Yeah, actually, so it's just me and Rock and Karos then.
So what I'm playing off of is Dregnar had mentioned that before about the shepherd and what he learned and what he thought was a
like
possible
in the temple
connection.
Or in the tower?
Well, in the swamp, we were doing a possible connection about using souls to power things and or blood or whatever, however you want to look at life force to power spells and enchantments and stuff like that.
Well, given that
But
at this point
Ben
now
doesn't know that.
now you're limiting it to just me and Rock, Davis absolutely would not remember this. So
Okay.
And I would
Just-
say even James, with taking an account to your 25 on religion, even if you're pulling on things that you guys have talked about, you still wouldn't be able to put that together at this point.
Okay, that's fine. No,
By
that's
what
fine.
you're
I'm,
asking. Yeah,
well, that's why I'm kind of trying to be vague with the
Yeah.
questioning because I don't really know. Just trying
and
to
that vagueness and that
happenstance.
confusion is appropriate. If you guys are saying that you guys have had this conversation, then what you are saying as James is fine for Ben to think.
Okay.
That's perfectly okay. But it is shrouded in the I'm not telling you because you haven't figured it out yet. Or
Got it.
maybe you
Okay.
have, but you haven't been solidified.
So basically, out of the game, what I'm trying to do is make people think about the things we said before because I think there's a connection as James, but I don't want to outright say it as Ben.
Ben, I get you. Well, I will say, Karos, well, if we are done in here, it is still quite early in the day. We should take whatever blessings we get from this spirit and move.
yeah,
As if I understand, the people we are looking for are closer to the bad guys than these city
Right.
was.
also, I did sort of not necessarily promise, but I did sort of tell the survivors that we found that we would sort of help look for any other survivors. Real quick, and then I'll just say over the bond and be like, hey Al, maybe just take Loon and sweep the city as fast as you can, looking for signs, and then hopefully that just keeps them happy because you probably got to get going.
I can send Pebble too.
Yeah, there you go, perfect.
Just making sure Pebble didn't die, right?
Pebble's fine.
Oh, that was good. That was good. I would say, Al, something like if you do leave the temple, right, and you you did leave because I remember saying that they get to feel sunshine on their face for the first couple days. First time in a few days, excuse me. There's still bodies of the cannibals strewn about.
Shit. You're not
You
wrong.
guys
Yeah, but they were bad.
decimated. No, I get it. I'm just
But honestly,
keeping in mind the
probably
visual.
from the corpse room, there's probably bodies laying outside.
Yes. So keep in mind, like you did your best to get them out from the temple without seeing the numerous dead of likely their city mates, right? Because from what you understand, these people were taken all from West Green. But outside, there's like 2 or 3 dead cannibals right outside the front entrance of the temple, and then but 100 feet away, you have maybe about 20 killed cannibals, stuff like that. So if you're if just keep that in mind. So go ahead, act as you wish.
I forgot about all that.
That's
well.
my job to remind you of all these things.
What? Okay. Well, Bloom can get a good view. If I join her, it'll be faster. Could anybody help watch these people, for a few minutes?
Yeah. I'll be right
yeah.
out.
Or I
then
think we're all coming out, actually.
Okay.
I will tend to the wounded. If there's any wounded, I'll activate the sensor
Okay.
and then let them be healed. And then also, once that's done, I will start policing bodies, good or bad. I don't care, to give them at least a funeral pyre burial.
Okay, that will take time.
Right.
There's a lot of
yeah.
bodies.
Well, I get that, but since I have nothing else really to do until we decide we're leaving, that's what I'm doing.
So Ben, on the healing, yes, you will be able to. Davis had already started attending to some of them. You're able to heal the 4 survivors, but for the sake of magic does not cure all. Their feet are still going to be damaged and mangled, right?
Got it.
So while they have full hit points, if there was a status condition of like crippled for the time being, they are crippled for the time being. The bleeding has stopped, and you do see, because you asked previously, you do see the the 4 of them that are survived, yeah, they have, gashes and runes and markings carved into their flesh. They had prepared to be part of a ritual.
Got it. So I will tend to them the best I can.
Yep.
And then I will let them know that if they head to the west, I think that's correct, they can go to the Sunlight Spire and seek assistance there. Look for a
East,
person named
and it's a long
Steve.
journey.
Southeast.
A long
Hey.
journey.
What else they got between here and there?
I know. I'm just switch you over here. Boop.
Or we can
Long journey.
send them to Whitlaw.
But Whitlaw's further away though, isn't it?
Yes, but it would also put
But-
them in like an underground area where nobody's expecting them. But they're nice.
Except hopefully the people there are gonna take care of him.
Right.
I wonder how my message got through. Just throwing paper through a portal probably wasn't the best. Pretty one directional, but
Wait,
And
do
I
we
will
have,
also make sure. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do we have like paper birds or something? Is that what we did?
No.
Oh, okay.
Al. What did Al do? I remember Al made. What did you do? I remember you throwing a piece of paper through a portal, but I don't remember what the context of it was.
Oh, it was through a portal.
yeah. I think it was
That's
just
a
like
good
as vague.
idea.
I think it was just like as vague as possible. Like, hey guys, this is Al in the menagerie. Da, da, da,
It's the most
we might-
expensive telegram ever.
Yeah, but
mhm.
where did you send it? That's what I'm trying to
I think it
remember.
was Circle of
The one-
Stars.
Yeah, the only teleportation circle. Because it
That's
was
it. Yes.
because I wasn't doing teleport. I was doing.
You were doing teleportation
Teleportation
circle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you drew your own temporary circle that you connected it to the core stars. So yes, you do technically have allies in the. Fair. You have allies.
I just don't know if it's cool with them. I
You
asked
have
him if it was.
allies.
Yep.
That's all you know, buddy.
But the message, if nothing else, would have ended with Menagerie XOXO. That's how they know it's really us.
If this is an open discussion.
As far as mentioning the teleportation, yeah, I would have.
Karos would just being Karos. 4 of them will slow us down significantly.
Oh yeah. But they can't go off on their
Yeah.
own. I mean, we can't ask them to just, hey, walk back to the
Oh.
Sunlit Spire. That's
Is
if-
this
like
over the bond?
yeah.
I think you mean crawl back to the.
Right,
spire.
exactly. I was gonna say with them, like for us, it took us like 5 days. For them, it'll take them like 2 months.
Don't we still have the Bray, and can't we send them on the Bray, and then the Bray will dissolve and come back?
That's
They
8,
would.
That's
They
8
would.
hours.
Yeah, it's only for 8 hours.
It's 8 hours of them not having to walk.
Yeah, but then they
It's
still
either,
have
it's either that or
8 more
it's
weeks.
either that or they come with us. It's either
No, it's
that,
not.
or-
It's
either
not.
that
We
or
can
they
send them
come-
somewhere else.
Where can we send them?
So
How's
how familiar are you with teleportation, Ben?
Actually, very familiar.
Oh, Al.
I can
Not
act,
accurate.
I can get us back to the Sunlight Spire right now.
You don't say.
Yes,
Huh.
I can.
No,
I
he
can
said.
do it quite easily.
Davis. Not now.
Sorry.
Okay. We had an alternate route. We have some friends back in Whitlaw. I have a circle that connects to that one. Also an emergency. I'll flash a little the painting from Sej. With this, I have at least some kind of connection. I can take us back to the tower as well, but it takes all of my energy to muster that up. The circle to Whitlaw is something I do multiple times a day. That's much easier on me.
I just
Um,
had an idea, Adam.
Mhm.
Technically, we are in a sanctuary of a deity, if you will, correct?
An unhallowed one. Yeah. It's definitely not.
So
You started the process of hallowing it, but it's definitely been blasphemed or blasphemed.
hold on
Yeah.
1 second. I got a kid out.
Kid
Gotcha.
aggro, let's go. But so he's talking about World of Recall, right? I assume.
Yes, so
Yeah,
he has
okay.
word of recall, and that will send, I mean, I think I figured out a way for you guys to do it, but I don't necessarily want to tell you how you guys can.
Because he has to go with word of recall. Teleportation
Yes,
circle,
but
the caster does not have to go.
but you don't only have teleportation circle.
Right.
Sorry.
We also have teleport.
You also have teleport.
Right. But it doesn't necessarily work.
So,
No, I have teleport is very safe. It's
sure,
just that I can only do it
right?
once.
Well, there's
Yeah.
still a chance it could fail.
But so
I got a permanent
if you're
circle. I got associated object. 100%, right?
Okay.
well, if my Karos, I think that's never 100% with teleportation.
Yeah, I think it's like
I think
5%.
the best odds are like 95 or something. Yeah, but I think the chance of a catastrophic is eliminated. I think it's just like you might overshoot it or undershoot it by a few miles or something, if I remember right. But yeah, I think you guys kind of know what you can do. So I'll leave it to you guys to discuss since Ben's back.
How many? Sorry about that. How many? There. You said there are 4 of them.
There's 4 of them. There's you, which would have to go, and then you would.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't do Temple of Gods. I had to read it. It says dedicated to your deity. I thought it said dedicated to a deity. So
Yes. Right.
the other option is we can. I can do regeneration magic on them, but it's going to take 4 days to complete all 4 of them.
No. Well, I think you may have stepped away when your friend said, but I'll let Danny say what you said.
Got it.
Yeah, so you could word of recall there and then teleport back. But so you'd have to take Al with you so he could teleport you back, probably. If you wanted
Okay,
to do
that's
it
fine.
that way.
We can do it that
Okay.
way if you want to.
Okay.
Me and
'cause
Al are going on a trip to the abyss.
But
I'm excited.
yeah, so
But-
well, teleport. It is actually 100% if you have a permanent circle, which we don't here. Associated
You do
object.
not have a permanent.
Yeah, we don't have an object from the desired destination. Oh, from within the last 6 months. You could take something from here. Actually, you take the dowsing rod. That's from here. I
This
guess, right?
place. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, because the desired destination would be back here.
That's the part I was forgetting. Good call,
Um,
Davis.
Yeah, so that's where I think now you guys are putting the pieces together. So if I understand, and I just want to say it out loud because discussions and interruptions. A potential solution that I think you guys hashed out was Ben, Al, injured, word of recall to the Sunlit Spire. Al, Ben, teleport to location.
Or which I think is here because he can have an associated object. We can just take those dowsing rods. I would say it's from this destination within the last 6 months. So that should give you 100%.
I like the idea.
Just cost 2
Okay.
6+ level spots.
Yes.
I mean,
Well,
it is the start of the day.
Yeah.
You guys did just dispatch of 50 or more baddies.
Ryu.
So
so I'll look at Al. I'm willing.
We'll
Over the bond.
make sure that they're willing first, right? Although they
Well, I
don't
want to
have
make
much
sure.
of a choice.
I want to make sure we got the there and the back first, and then I'm gonna let them know what we're gonna try to do.
I can only do this once today, but I'm confident.
You're not the only one. I can only do this once as well. So then I'm gonna look at Al. I'm gonna look at me. I'm gonna look at Al and say maybe you should talk to him.
You good with talking?
Sure. Yeah, sure thing. But first, real quick, Davis, did you still want me to circle around to search for survivors? have a little time?
Yeah, we did. I did kind of tell them we would do that, so I'd feel bad if we didn't at least make a shot.
Okay, good.
all right, Al, go ahead and give me a perception check. Or however, if you're going, you can also, or if Blue Moon's going solo, just for the moon.
Could
I think I'd
Karos
be,
go instead, since he's got the eyes of the eagle?
I mean,
Ooh.
sure. I mean,
Him and Lou.
Loon is a resource, not
Right.
well, however you want to do it.
Not just your like familiar or something.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Whoever wants to roll for Karos. Oh, sorry. If Ali had something else to say, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, good. I would share with the survivors. Hey guys, we've got a plan to get you out of here, but we're gonna scout around the area one more time, see if there's any others we can help out. So if y'all are fine with it, my friend Ben here, he's got a sanctuary, a very very safe place, way back near West Green.
How are we gonna get back? It was lots of traveling.
If you're comfortable with it, we can get you there in basically an instant. We have the magic for that. I just want to know that everybody's comfortable with teleportation. It's very safe. We've practiced before. It's just a little.
I would say if I hadn't seen what I saw, you're kidding, right? But I mean, there's no way we would be able to travel back by foot. So he turns to the other survivors. And they just, I just want to get away from here. I thought I was gonna die today, so anything's better than here. Is this going to hurt?
It won't hurt. It's just a little jarring. Just the first time you go through it, it's a new experience, but it does not hurt. No. I find
Okay,
it's a.
I'm in. I'll do it.
Over the bond, talking to Ben. Hey, when I take us back, we can be standing or sitting. It doesn't matter. We'll end up in the right spots. But if I make a circle, people have to move through it. There's some momentum involved. With yours, can they sit? Does that help them at all?
Yes, all they have to do is be within 5 feet of me, so all they can sit right around me.
Okay, yours is probably less drawing than mine is. This is perfect. I'll share that with them. It even helps if you just sit within the proximity of what we're gonna do.
And I kind of chuckle at Al and go, "It only took me a year of my life."
Whew. Whew.
So sorry about that.
God damn it! How do I never hear? I always hear you before I see you. Jesus.
Saj right now is back at the temple, chilling, drinking a Kool-Aid or lemonade or whatever, just chilling. I wonder what those guys are doing.
He's
And
completely
then all of a
redecorated.
sudden, there's two bloodied people just show up on the floor like. Oh,
Not two,
Four bloody
four.
baby. Yeah.
Every door frame has beads over it now.
I mean, you've given him, what is it, a couple days, 3 days, 4 days? I don't even know how much time has trapped. I have to
That's
check
plenty.
the calendar. He's had plenty of time to start.
Doorways have beaded curtains on them and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
I was gonna say, as you guys are saying that, actually, because you guys said that, Carlos would say, well, shouldn't we then tell Sej he's gonna have visitors? We could do that,
nah,
right?
it's not his place anyway.
True.
Well, technically, it is his place.
Oh yeah.
I'm the creator. He is the keeper. But I have no means to let him know that we're coming.
Got it.
I mean, I can. I guess.
But
Yeah.
that's up to you. And I kind of look at Cielo and like give a mischievous grin.
I mean,
Distance, Cielo.
The best that a gift can do, grin.
I know distance, and it's probably not gonna work. But Cielo's gonna try it.
Oh,
He's gonna,
got it. Okay.
He's gonna flick the earring with the finger, and
Ding.
he's gonna try to message Sej, and
Alright,
it's
what do you-
not gonna work. I don't think.
Yeah, but what are you gonna say? 25 words. Go.
Hey, some really beat up friends we rescued a couple, but we don't really know a good place to put them other than, well, they can't stay here.
Okay, I got 2
So,
more words. 1 word.
thanks.
XOXO.
Thanks.
Good save.
And you
He's learning
send
so fast.
you send the message. Ding. No response. Sej. No response. Yeah.
So
That's
rude.
That's because he hates you.
Yeah, he didn't respond. I don't think he likes me.
Oh.
Wait, what was the distance on sending it?
It's 120
Yeah,
feet.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. How do these
I don't
earrings
think-
work again? Ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding.
I don't think this earring's working.
Love it. So yeah,
Silly.
5
Silly.
charges.
Silly rabbit.
Supercharge it!
Oh,
I will say, whoever did we roll for perception for Karos and Lunlin?
no. I can roll
Okay.
Loon real quick.
Whoever wants to roll for Karos, both are at advantage, I think, because both of them have keen vision.
Ooh.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Lunlin does
I'll
now.
confirm.
Yeah,
Has have 11. What is
she
it?
might not.
I did
Might be a
Karos.
familiar
Karos is
thing.
24.
Okay,
I
24,
don't-
good.
I don't see it, so I'll roll
Okay.
flat.
Yeah, roll flat.
Nice. Stand there. Stand there. Oh look!
What would-
Oh my! And I got a 4.
So 24? Yeah, 24. Alright, so Lunlin takes Karos to the sky, and from this high vantage point, using his eyes of the eagle, he's able to see that, he gets advantage of this this village, this riverside village that is definitely been raised, and it's been raised a while ago. So you can see the scuff marks and the lack of greenery. Some green is starting to come back through. You can see the various camps and various rundown buildings that the cannibals were utilizing, and a number of the effigies used probably to just claim this territory and to ward off or scare off anyone that would cross. He does fly to, well, on the back of Lunlun. He does fly from essentially like east to west, and then to the river, and along the riverbank, and then back to you guys. And along the trail, he does see on the farthest trail that leads up to the riverbanks, there was likely a simple kind of port there for straw boats and little river boats. Nothing large, like we're talking like 1 or 2 man vessels coming down this local river. He swoops down on Lunun's back and does see that essentially there is a board remaining that was essentially welcoming people to Panlin. So you do officially, now I said it in the intro, I messed up. You guys actually didn't have the name yet, but the village's name is Panlin, Panlin. Yes, after pangolin. No, village of Panlin. And he will swoop down and at least grab a piece of that board. Just because you guys were talking about teleportation of the city.
True.
And he comes back saying, we're the only ones still kicking, short of some field mice or whatever. Oh yeah. Place is called Panlin. I took the P off the sign because I figured you needed something to come back here with, right?
Yeah. Let's do the trick.
So you know how it works.
This guy's
What
crazy
works?
smart.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't even mean to eavesdrop. They're just loud when they're talking all the time, so I pick up on
Hey,
what
I
he's
get
working.
you. I pick
Yeah,
up things all the time.
exactly.
I chuckle, both mentally and verbally.
Yeah, he looks at your hands. He like his eyes just instantly shoot down to both your hands. He's like, I've picked up on that, but
I meant on conversation. Come on.
no,
Long ears. That was the joke. I'm not.
well, you're good.
Oh shit, that's funny. I get it. I get it. Now.
I get it too, and I like it very well. I would say we do this as rapidly as possible because we can probably get to where we need to go by the end of the day if we move.
It's certainly not worth staying here.
It's forgotten village.
I'll go give a. You know what? I will. We got time. Well, nobody's whatever. I'm gonna do it anyway, just because these people are miserable, and I'm gonna do a respite. So I know it's gonna take 10 more minutes, but fuck it. Ben can do some
Very well.
funeral pyre work, and they might be exhausted, or they might not be. But even if they are, I'm gonna help with their exhaustion. I'm doing the respite.
Very
So
well.
basically, I'm giving them a little pep talk. It's like, so you're gonna go to the Sunlit Spire. It's great. It's so bright in there. It's almost blinding, but it always feels warm even on a cold day. Which, I don't know, maybe you can maybe roll a deception check because I've never been there on a cold day. I don't care.
No, it's
yeah,
fine. It's not your intention.
Yeah, I'm just spinning yarns of how wonderful it is. It's like, and they've got all sorts of, healers there that can help tend to these maladies and maybe fix you up, and it's, if you've never been to West Green, I mean, I've only been there for a little bit, but it seems like a pretty nice little town, and I think you'll get fixed right up, blah, blah, blah. So I just go on for 10 minutes.
Very well. So in this time, I know, Ben, you said you were working on what you can for body
Correct.
arrangement.
Yeah, just trying to. I'm focusing on the villagers first, and then
Yes.
the cannibals. I'm just trying to do I hate to but this is the quickest thing possible. Trying to do a large funeral pyre.
Understand. Where are you piring? So are you going into the temple and taking the bodies out?
That would be the first thing I do. I'm trying to cleanse. I want to try to cleanse the temple as much as possible, and then I'm probably going to do it in the center of town.
Got it.
Pep talks
So
taking place on the side of the temple, away from all that shit.
I was gonna say, yeah, I just wanted to make sure of visuals. Because not only are there, these people dead, but some of them were re-killed, right? Essentially, in conflict. So some of the bodies are pretty mangled. However, pep talk on the side, 10 minutes. As you're going back and forth, Ben, and you're taking what you can to do this, I'll say Karos picks up on what you're doing, and he will assist with his survival kit, or with his traveling kit. He'll start on the side digging out a space with a shovel to try to make room. Or I guess not room, but make an area for you to be able to
Space.
put the bodies. Yeah, a space. Is anyone else helping Ben in this time? Okay, so Cielo, Rock, Davis, Al. Davis is talking to the survivors. Al, what are you doing?
I think I'd send Lun to continue kind of keeping an eye out from the skies, just to make sure that nothing's approaching. And I'd continue trying to assist just kind of comforting survivors.
Okay,
Pass
so
around
Al
the
is
water
with
skin, share
Davis.
some food.
Got it. Oh, the food is nice. They will very rapidly eat because they have not been fed in multiple days. Rock. Pebble is out flying and scouting. What is Rock doing? If you're there, CJ.
Yeah, is she in range for me to be bamped in?
That's up to you. However you wish. I just need to understand what everyone's doing in this 10-minute window.
So I would try and guess, just to be a little more thorough with it, because communicating with Pebble isn't the bestest of communications. I would have her try and stay in range and be backed into her, so I can kind of like guide and be thorough in our looking for people.
Okay, cool. So, Rock will take 10 minutes to just kind of walk somewhere, sit down, bamf through Pebble, and Pebble stays within the radius. You can go ahead and give me perception checks to see if you find anything.
Perception checks. Do I get advantage because I have my shield, or is Pebble looking?
Pebble is looking. You're looking through Pebble, but Pebble, because she's a
It is
familiar,
Pebble
has
looking,
advantage anyway. So you're fine.
How many perception checks do you want?
Give me one right now, and then we'll determine what happens.
Okay. Yeah, you said with an S.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh my God! Do double digits exist on dice?
No.
Hey, some
Pebble
of
got injured in the fight and has no eyes. I rolled a 1.
-7.
Wait. With advantage, you rolled 2 once.
No, why did I roll? Why would I roll advantage?
Pebble's
She has,
familiar.
yeah, she has keen sight or whatever it's called.
Oh, thank God.
The otherworldly
Oh no,
familiar.
that's way better. 18 plus hers is 4, so 22.
22. Okay. All right. So yeah. So as you're kind of shuffled off, you find somewhere to place your hand so that you're stable. You're not going to be falling over, or getting lost. And you bamf your vision while Pebble is flying, telepathically communicating with her. She swoops around, looking through that. She flies into one of the rundown, destroyed buildings that was like converted into a one of the living spaces for these cannibals, temporary. Like it's just living space. You see some sort of sleeping sacks rolled out. You see propped up tables and other things used for placing objects like weapons and clothing, foodstuffs. You do at one point, you do swoop around, and on the back of one of the buildings, there seems to be various carts and what do you call them? I guess they would have horses here. Yeah, and a few horses lashed up. So you find maybe some of the wagon or whatever that they use to transport over here.
Okay.
Wonderful.
When those are found, I would definitely bamf out.
Okay.
Ooh, excuse me. And pass on to whoever is closest. Just briefly be like, "Hey, I found horses that could be useful," and then just immediately bamf back in.
And Pebble gets directed that direction. As you swoop Pebble through, they're definitely not the cleanest or most upkept of carts. They do seem to just be used for transporting captives and or objects that are too annoying to carry. One of the carts looks to have a collection of various tunics and crude weapons on it. It looks almost like an armory kind of cart. The other one very much does look as if its intention is to transport captives, as it is the larger of the two carts, and it does seem to have numerous cages upon it, large enough for someone to be very uncomfortable in.
How many horses ish are there?
That you can see lashed up in the poorly, the very lack of green area. That would have been 8 horses total, 4 for each cart.
I will definitely bamf back out quickly and be like, "Hey, there's clothing and weapons and stuff, and 8 horses if we need them for people," and then I'll bamf back in. I'm not even waiting to hear whoever's next. Who's closest to me?
I kind of imagine you walked off a little bit, so I guess it would be maybe Davis on the side, giving people pep talks with Al. So Al and Davis, then you.
Yeah. So every time I bamf out, I just like look and just loudly like little thaumaturgy just to make sure I get there. Pass that on and then.
Davis, as you're kind of giving your pep talk, every once in a while it's interrupted,
Oh yeah.
and you see the goblin girl, the lady goblin, is looking at Rock each time, and she kind of looks at you and says, "Is he okay?" Did he...
As he'll be. I mean, he's. Have you ever known somebody who's just like a genius, just like knows, just like the smartest person, you know, like they always have like the screw loose or something, right? Like some weird quirks and stuff, right?
Okay.
He's
So his yelling really loud at us.
that's just one of them. Like he's so smart that he's got like a bunch of things like that, but he makes up for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, it's a bit rude. He doesn't really know any better, but
Was he the one with all the coral on him earlier?
Yeah. Looked, yeah. He's got strong magics. Like I said, he's so smart. He knows all these things. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just
Probably looked
wasn't
kind of like a monster
expecting that.
almost.
Yeah, I thought he was just some kind of dumb brute, because all he said was, "I am Rock."
Oh, I know. Yeah, that was new to all of us.
Okay. Got it.
Geniuses, right?
He's a little scary, actually.
I'm sorry. We can
Okay.
move a little if you want.
Fine.
I don't know. Like actually, I'll kind of almost nearly pick her up.
She's not gonna struggle or fight it.
Right.
Take it. Whatever.
We'll just move down on the end of the wall over here. Like around a corner, another corner even, maybe like now we're on the back side of the temple. Rock will like come out of Pibble's vision, suddenly like, where'd everybody go?
So, yeah. Okay, so I know what Rock is doing. Pebbles. So Pebbles going into the carts. CJ.
Yeah, she'll check out over there to see.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, give me, if you're looking for something, or I guess this would be more like now. Are you just scanning it over? Or are you trying to find something? What
I'm
is?
just
What's...
looking to see if there's anyone else who needs help, or if there's things there that are useful to us to get people out of here, or whatever.
So that's what I'm saying. Two very different things. Because one would be like you're investigating for useful things, or one would be you're looking for people. So which one is taking
I guess
priority?
since we're at carts and stuff, I'd be like more useful things at that
Okay,
point,
go
because there's
ahead.
not going to be people just standing out in the open.
Gotcha. Yeah. So go ahead and give me a investigation check. And it could be you through Pebble.
Oh, okay.
Or it would be, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
If it's me through Pebble, then it's a 21, and if it's
Okay.
Pebble, it's less than that.
Yeah. I don't think she has.
She doesn't have anything good for that, so I rolled a 7.
7. Okay.
But,
so
yeah.
So if Rock walks over there, then we can use the 21. If it's just Pebble, you'll send Pebble in, and Pebble will kind of start moving through. Like you're trying to see through Pebble, but the way that she's just kind of flying and jumping from end of broad axe over to leather tunic over to satchel that has something in it over, like she's just kind of hopping around inside, not even really flying, because it's just one. I don't even know how big the cart would be. The cart would be like a. How much is that? Like a not even a 10-foot cart, right? It's just a simple small cart.
Yeah.
There's some shiny things in there that stand out.
I mean, I think Rock would kind of wander over there because, yeah,
Okay.
it's Rock, so it's me. Yeah, I would walk over there because just because seeing from what I could from Pebble, it looks like, hey, this might help us because I'm not privy to all the other discussions going on because I'm vamped in. To me, I'm like, we have people who need help, and
Okay.
so let's go see if this is a solution.
All right, so we will come back to you at the carts with shiny thing. Got it. Cielo,
Yeah.
you notice that Ben is doing body stuff. Karos is helping dig. Davis and Al are talking to people, and Rock is being Rock. What are you up to?
We're still in that temple, right?
You're in the area of the temple, so it's up to you if you're inside. So Ben is going inside the temple, grabbing the dead bodies and taking them to essentially a shallow grave that Karos
Yeah.
has been digging up.
So we're like on the outside of the temple to maybe like if we want to be like the
Yeah.
village, the ruined village that was like surrounding it.
You have
Um,
free reign. That's what I'm just trying to understand what you're up to.
that's what I'm wanting to do.
Okay.
I want to this might sound a little very specific, but I want to see my chances because I would like to find if there's probably very little chance of anything being left as it's a ruined place with people already in it and stuff.
Sure.
But if there was like any leftover apothecary like tools in one of these ruined like places,
Okay.
I would either want some apothecary tools or see if they left like some potions or something.
Go ahead and give me a investigation check as you're trying to just move around the ruins looking for something very specific.
Sure. Wow. This map is making my GPU cry for some reason.
Oh, here, I'll I don't know why, but
It's
I'll
okay. The virtual dice is just chugging. I got a super good roll though. 31 total.
31 total. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll give it to you. So,
You definitely don't have to.
no. It's like, by all means, it's just a thought because I mean, any fair-sized trading port or that there's a from Baldur's Gate. The hag says it. Villages will always need lotions and potions. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there would be a building that not completely destroyed. One of the more permanent structures here, you do see on the ground, flopped over, what would have been a sign that was hanging. You kind of go up to it, you pick it up and flip it over, and while most of it is like missing or burnt out, you do see what would have been the shape of a glass bottle, right? A glass potion, kind of that stereotypical. So you like, okay, maybe I found something. You wake your way in. Doors are missing. The wooden slats that are used for like blinds are all but destroyed. And in here it's dusty, it's sandy, but it's not necessarily musty or doesn't necessarily smell bad because it's so open and it's closer to the water, so it gets plenty of breeze coming through. And you do see that there are some. You can kind of see the layout was here. There would have been like, you walk in, there probably would have been some shelving around on each side, maybe some uh, aisles or so, low cut with some various. Kind of imagine maybe some herbs here, some dried bits here, and as you're perusing, you do find the counters area, and you kind of go behind it, and you do find an assortment, a bag that has some. You jingle it, and it doesn't sound like broken glass or broken vials, and you do kind of pry it open. Go ahead and roll me a.
Constitution save.
No. Go ahead and roll me.
Power save.
Go ahead and roll me 3d6.
Sure.
And tell me the total because I'm taking care of the cats. They're being fussy.
10 total.
10. Okay. 10 would be. Okay. You find okay.
One
So
above
you
average.
yeah. So you find two, and they were essentially, you look at them and they're the shells of river clams that have been, the clam has been removed and they've been dried out and cleaned, and inside of it there's a lotion or an ointment. So the shell is used to kind of like hold something, and when you kind of put your finger over it and smell it, it smells pleasant. It smells almost like a vanilla wax smell on both shells.
So it's like wax on shell, like it's like
So
it's
so
like
so
ointment
it's
looking stuff. You said?
yes, yeah, it's an
Yeah.
ointment. So it's a half shell, and in each half shell
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
dried
So they're
up.
like classed with like. Okay. I see.
And then you do see one glass vial that was not broken, and it has a, what would that be? It has a, okay, it seems to be a reddish liquid, but not like blood red. It seems to be more of like a swirling red. It reminds you of, when you look at it, and it's not that it reminds you of something, but it just looks like what you would interpret someone saying like liquid and fire put together.
Ooh.
And it's like a little vial of like liquid fire question mark. And while you're moving it around, you hear something inside of it dinking along the glass. And you kind of turn it so that whatever is in it would settle to the side, because the bottom of it's a little bit thicker, so it's a little bit harder to see. And it looks like there's a tooth, like a large tooth inside there. And by tooth, I mean like more like a molar or like a human-like tooth, not like a fang or a sharp canine. It's like a
Drink it.
Bottoms up. No, I'm kidding.
So you have two half shells with ointment and one swirling fire. Whatever you want to explain the potion. You don't know what they
Yeah.
are yet.
Not yet.
Nope.
But somebody might, so I'm gonna put it away and
Yep.
come back to my friends.
Yep. Okay. So Rockish looking at Chinese. Ben. Okay, Ben. Karos has done his best. If someone wants to roll me an athletics check for Karos. Yes, I know he's got crazy good athletics, but let's see how quickly he's able to, with his adventure gear shovel, make a burn pit, essentially, I guess. And just let me know what the total is.
Corbin, you were studying Karos. Do it.
What am I? Oh, shit, what am I doing?
Athletics check.
Oh,
He has expertise.
damn.
That's
No
a
kidding.
big score.
What? I'll take it. 26.
26. All right. Yeah. So he will wrap up relatively quickly because he's not digging anything too deep. He makes it large enough so that the bodies can lay below the surface, and that way, if you do lay dried up woods and branches and tumbleweeds and stuff in there, that when you light it ablaze, it will burn down, covered up. in a sense, so we'll just spread the fire to the dried up grasses in this area. So he will, once you start getting the bodies over, he will start joining you in the temple and helping you get a few more bodies out, because there was something like, I think there was more than 16, if I remember right. And as you guys are, Ben and Karos, as you guys are grabbing some of the bodies and heading down the temple, you do cross. You're heading down the two sets of stairs that lead down to the entrance, and Ben and Karos, you'll hear this, almost like the air is splitting around you. And as you look behind, you see that there are some blood glyphs that you guys had left behind, and you can almost like visualize, like, when you see like those heat mirages, and like off in the distance, and it looks like the concrete is kind of, I don't know how you say it, just kind of like wibbly wobbly. You see that in the air, and you see, well, I guess I should say, you see that happening. What do you do, Ben?
I will pull out my sensor because I am familiar with teleportation and planar binding and traveling through different planes. So that's what I think is going to happen. So I will
Okay.
ready myself. I will ready myself to come through that thing, and I will mentally say, I think there's something coming.
All right.
Our bond has
Karos
got to be
will.
wearing out.
The bond is. Yeah, I was gonna say bond is gone at this
Know
point.
that the bond, like, is there like a beep 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 or something like that? Says, hey, you know what?
No. So, um, yeah.
Okay, so
You'll say it,
if I,
no response.
if I,
But as
if
you
I,
see that
yeah,
stance, go ahead.
yeah, if I realize that Carlos isn't taking an aggressive stance, I will say something come.
Yeah, he'll make. I thought so, and he will pull out his flail, and he will let out a roar to get everyone's attention. So Al, Davis, you will hear it, obviously, because you guys are saying you're close to the temple.
I'll try to
But
think in my head, what's up? Shit. Nothing
No
there.
response.
Nobody's responding.
yeah,
We definitely need to have an audible cue at the end that says, "Hey, guess what? Your call has been disconnected."
Dear Travis.
it's not part of the spell. But
You're
anyways, so as the roar goes, Ben and Karos, sorry, Kyle, you're not here, so you guys get to imagine. You will see there's like that shimmer that kind of cracks, and you see kind of the space open. And Ben, you expect something to come out, but it's more like something projects from the blood glyphs, and the blood glyphs kind of get like sucked away from the wall, and you see this vaguely familiar question mark visage of, was it and you look at it, and you and Carlos will recognize it. It's the entity that was plastered over BaWu's shrine, and you'll hear a voice kind of projected, Iran. What is here? What are you taking from me?
I'll kind of look at Carlos and look at me. If Carlos is going to say anything, I'm going to say everything.
I will enjoy watching you fail to remove me. And it fades.
Do I? Okay, can I do a religion check to see if I can recognize the visage as something I may have come across of any deity, lesser deity, whatever, planar being.
Sure. Yes.
Okay, give me a second.
As it fades, the blood that was used burns up, and it's that strong, disgusting smell of like burned blood. Ugh, I hate that smell.
Dirty,
iron.
dirty
Yeah.
20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
No, it definitely was some sort of communication. It definitely looked like vaguely like that entity that was plastered over BaWu. Kind of the same general head shape. And gave you very much a fiendish vibe, but doesn't necessarily strike you as, say, like a deity? Maybe a very strong entity? It doesn't line up with any kind of demon, or with any kind of god. It didn't, that you could think of.
But I'm assuming I understand that some creatures or entities they strive to become a god or a demigod. So I'm assuming that's what this guy's doing.
Yeah,
So I'll let
maybe
I'll,
like
I'll,
the I would say, because you do study, you are a student of religion. The 11 is pretty much locked in. Like you're not dethroning or kicking out one of the 11. They are
but
prime.
but there are lesser gods and regional gods and stuff like that, or demigods, if you will.
Yeah, lowercase
Yeah,
gods, where these are
yeah,
like uppercase gods. Yes.
got it. So I'll look at Carlos and say, "We make friend."
I think we made a best friend. We will not remove him.
Maybe get rid of symbols. All.
Yeah, I mean, they were Davis and Al. If you guys were moving at this point, you guys would be entering the temple. If not, then you guys are still there. I didn't get what you guys were doing.
Would the temple be the only place where this was heard?
Yes, it was inside
Okay.
the beginning. So if you look at if you remember in the temple map,
Mhm.
there was 2 stairs that went up. Along that entirety, I drew in blood glyphs, and those lit up, burnt away as this message was sent. And I need to retroactively say one thing, because I was not looking at my notes. One thing that he will say is, going back to Ben and Karos, sorry. Because I wrote this and I wanted to make sure I said this. When he says, "What are you taking from me?" and then you guys said everything, he would have said, "You found stopping me at a vein is little then. You can to stem the flow." And that's it. This is another thing they was going to say. So stopping me is little more than stemming a wound. You cannot stop the flow.
Blood puns.
That's the only other. Yeah.
Not puns, just imagery. Yeah, I
Yep.
would say as soon as we heard Karos roar, I would have looked at Al, kind of hesitated for a beat, and then just said to the folks, be like, "Stay right here. I'm sure everything's fine. Karos just needs our help. Be right back," and run.
And then, Davis, you would have heard Ben and Kara exchange, "Well, we just made a best friend."
Wait, and so they're in the statuary room,
The
like where the
No,
Oh,
not
the
the
entryway.
entryway where the stairs were. Where the stairs
Oh.
were. Yeah. Because you smell that burnt iron blood smell.
What best friend did we make?
I'll look at Carlos since he can actually speak normal.
I got you, Ben.
Yeah, I tried
Apparently-
asking, and then I'll point to my head and nothing. So I
Yeah,
guess that's done.
it faded. Apparently the
Wait, where the fuck is Rock? Speaking of friends, he was. I should have run by him on the way in.
we'll
Fuck,
go
and now we
look for
can't.
him in a minute.
Yeah, now we can't. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Back to the best friend. What's up?
Apparently the one that had taken over the temple is aware that we have removed him from the temple. It points to the wall. There were blood on the wall, and it projected a image
Oh.
and a message.
Oof.
So apparently, he's aware that we're taking from him. So we made a best friend.
Oh, you're being sarcastic. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I get there eventually. Actually, did Al come? I don't actually even know. Did Al come?
Sorry.
But I
would
heard.
have I would have asked Loon to keep an eye out, maybe be on top of the building just to watch the people, and then I'd be a few seconds behind Davis.
He said he'll enjoy watching us fail.
Huh.
So
Well, I mean, we've heard lots of people tell us we'll fail, and we've proven them wrong most of the time.
true. Well, that was. Can we get them going? Because if now they know we're doing this.
Yeah, they're cool. They're calm. Well, they were until just now, maybe, but I'm sure they'll be fine. They're probably a little anxious to get out of here anyway at this point. So, whenever you two, and I'll just point to Ben and Al, like, are ready to do your whatever it was, by all means.
I
Yeah.
can continue. There's like 4 bodies left. I'll
Yeah,
get them
I
to
can
where
help
they need
too.
to go, Ben. Okay.
Thanks, all. Ready to go, Ben? Get this thing
Uh,
started?
Yes.
The car says it like, and not meant to be in a cruel way, but you get it as cold. The bodies will be waiting for you when you get back.
I will say thanks to Ben and Celestial. One of the few words that I know. And it
I
probably
will
sounds like
nod and-
thanks.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, it's just like, because it's like singing, right? So it's like off key or something, right? Like there's something off about it.
I
close.
like how it's canonical in here that it's like a melodic language. I'm like, okay, fine, that's fine.
Sure.
So yeah. So you guys are gonna set up sending them. Okay, so going back to Rock, you make your way back to the, or not you back to, you make your way to that wagon that you were looking for through. Again, the smell is never that pleasant. Like, it's blood-stained equipment that hasn't been properly washed and shit. But yeah, you get to the armory wagon, and you see what I explained. So some crude weaponry, some simple tunics and that, but you do see a couple shiny objects strewn about.
Well, for one, I can hold my breath for an hour. So, going to avoid the bad smells as much as possible.
True.
And you know that you can't say shiny objects. So I have to inspect those, please.
Yep. Okay.
Also, while I'm doing this, since I'm here now, I've sent Pebble off to find things.
Find things.
People. Now she's looking for people, just to see if
Scouting.
there's any
Okay.
more goblin
Perception
friends
check
out
for
there.
Pebble. Got it. Perception check for Pebble as she's looking for more things in the area, aka people, because people are just things. People are objects. We have confirmed this. And
Oh, she's very eager to find object people because she got a 22.
Nice.
the only people that Pebble picks up on are your friends that are outside and the 4 villagers. There's a lot of dead cannibals and marauders.
Okay.
No other signs. I mean, she sees some birds in the sky flying. She sees some other, it's like small rodent-like creatures running around through the ruins or the raised village. She sees a snake far away, slithering about, but that's about it. Like,
Once she's done finding all these wondrous creatures everywhere, she'll. I feel like Pebble knows me well enough and knows me well enough that I don't think I told her anything. She'll fly back to the group and just kind of try and like let them know that things are fine.
Pebble lands on you, Al, as you're the one that's outside, and she just calm tweets. Tweet, tweet. Even with a little shrug. Tweet, tweet.
Can birds shrug?
Sure.
Okay.
They kind of can.
I perception
actually.
better. Like, wait, do that again?
Jeez.
Is that it's so tiny? You have tiniest shoulders.
Tweet, tweet.
Okay, I think I get what you're trying to tell me.
Saying, yeah, he's up to something again. This is essentially.
What are you gonna do?
I'm glad
Alright,
you're affected by these shenanigans.
True. It's,
You're not
it's
immune either.
exasperated Pebble, just like.
Tweet, tweet.
Oh, it's not that bad. She's just like,
It's
Rock's-
not God.
Rock's
It's
rock-
not God Pebble. Tweet, tweet.
Yeah. Rock's just,
Your
Pebble.
Pebble.
is just like rocks are rocking. Just roll.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
now when she says I am Pebble, we'll laugh.
We're in danger.
You're in danger. Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay. Al, anything to respond to, or am I jumping over to Rock?
No, he just yeah. Thanks for sharing, Pebble. Yeah, Rock's kind of out and about. We'll have to pick him up soon. Pebble, don't. You might want to. We're gonna make a circle and go far away for a few minutes. You might want to. You want to hang out with Davis for a bit?
And flies over to David's shoulder. It lands. Toot.
Hey. Where's
Start.
your why am I talking to you? Never mind.
She kind of looks at you and then just kind of turns her head to a direction, kind of pointing roughly. He's over there.
Okay.
I kind of, in my mind, I know this isn't like. I wish that like she kind of like takes a wing and then she kind of like
Points.
curls it in to tell you how much it is, and then she just kind of gives you like a distance of like how far. Fully extended wing is far away, and then like, kind of. But no, she doesn't do that. So rock, shiny things. Yeah, go ahead and give me a investigation check just to see what all you're able to find in here. And then we will work, and then I think we'll take a quick little break, and then we'll come back for part 2.
Investigation check.
Because I'm assuming you're kind of moving things around and trying to look.
Yeah, I'm not worried about traps or anything. I'm just like, hey, stuff, throw noise. If there were dangers, I've been loud enough. I'm not worried. There's something.
Yep, I get you.
So also I'm Rock, so you know.
Yeah.
I am Rock.
Yeah.
27.
27. Okay. They clearly had collected some sort of trinkets and baubles and relics and curios along the journey. If you look at the map, they probably stopped at one of the other ruin sites. Got some stuff. So you see what you find, and one of the things that you find is how long is that? 2 foot? You find like a 2 foot metal, well, I would say precious metal, most likely gold, scepter or rod, that has at the end of it, at the end of one end, at the end of what end? No shit. At the end of it has a I'm drawing a blank on how to describe it. It has a lot of sharp, pointy bits. That it's like a half circle around the end, and then there's sharp, pointy bits that resemble something, maybe like like a half sun motif, I guess you would say. So there's that. And then I need to see, because I actually forgot what you guys rolled, because I had you guys roll for the different ruins. And I need to see which ruin that one was. No, that was not one of these.
I do have. Oh, do I? Hold on a sec. Nope, and I can only do it ritually. But it is. It is a divination spell. I'm gonna swap in detect magic for silvery barb.
My man, get that
And-
shit out of here.
And so while I'm searching and like, I should
Okay.
probably also look for magical things because like, yeah, these seem important. So I'll have
Yeah.
detect magic on once I start looking.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
If that.
I just realized that when Ziggy stepped on my keyboard, he definitely did something. So 1 second.
Uh-oh.
He
New
changed, like,
Codium
a
has
setting.
entered.
That's
Well, like,
a
he changed, like-
DM.
Why are you not? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello? Like, come on. That's so weird. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Is it catching up? It's
Are we supposed to see something?
no. It's on my end. I'm trying to get it to. It's just like it's like everything's like locked up on my end. Like I can click around, but nothing interesting. One second. Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. So, Rock. Sorry, I can actually get you a proper description. Sorry, I remembered it loosely, but that's why I was kind of. So the rod that you find, it's about a 2 foot long rod, and it's made of 2 semi-precious or precious metals that dominate one half on each side. The side that you have pointing up is made of what looks to be gold, and the gold on it, the end of the rod, essentially has like a half sun motif, that has a bunch of like the spiky little sun rays kind of coming off of it. The bottom half looks very similar to the top, though it is made of maybe silver or some others like lighter colored, not yellow tinted metal, and it's missing that end. When you switch out to your spells and you go ahead and use a first level spell slot to cast detect magic, or or are you ritually? Because that's gonna take another 10 minutes, right? So,
No. That's why I swapped so I could
Okay,
do
got
it.
it,
without the ritual.
got it. So your eyes illuminate. Yeah, this is definitely a magical rod. You could definitely identify it if you wish to.
Not at the moment. And right at the moment
Okay.
is more. I'm just gonna collect what I can because I know my team well enough to know that people are gonna come grab me.
Yes.
I'm back.
Yeah. As you're kind of looking through here as well, there is one other shiny bit. There are some other shiny bits that kind of catch your attention if you do dig around. You do find roll me 5d10 and 5d10 and 4d6, please. That's what this has.
Do we worry about order, or can I just roll?
No, give me the 10s and then give me the 6s.
Okay, 5d10s are 1, 2, 4, 5, 7.
1, 2, so that's 3, 4, that's 7.
5.
So total, so
Total
5,
19.
19. You find 19 pieces of platinum.
Oh gosh, I'm rich.
Or the equivalent of platinum. These look to be old world stamped, kind of forgotten about coins that were probably collected from some sort of dig site.
So do I count them as like 19 platinum?
They're 19 platinum. They are worth
It is?
19 platinum. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then what was the 6s?
How many 6s did you want me to roll?
4d6, please.
Okay. What? 1, 1, 2, 3.
7 total.
1, 1, 2, 3.
2, 3.
7 total. You find a collection of 1, 1. So ones are. You find 2 amethysts, 2. You find 1 diamond, and you find 1 pearl. So 2 amethyst, 1 diamond, 1 pearl. Essentially, they were like on a metal cord. Maybe it was some sort of like
3 of something.
a long, huh?
And 3 of something.
And 3 of something.
You said 1, 1,
1,
2,
1,
3.
2. Yeah, 2 amethyst, 1, 1, amethyst, amethyst.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Does that make sense? Amethyst, amethyst, diamond.
Got it.
And
Got
I
it.
already
didn't
forgot what
realize.
pearl.
I thought it
Yeah.
was quantities, not
Yeah.
like. I
Yeah.
gotcha.
So, you find they're not magical, but they are definitely precious gems, or whatever you want to consider a pearl as. And
Yay.
you just kind of pluck them off of the very simplistic, like a bronze cord. It's not worth much. So you just kind of pluck them off of it. Their value to be determined.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So you have a magic rod, which you can identify, and then you have some of that. You guys are finding objects here. Cool.
Yeah, I'll just continue to rummage around again, I'm not being quiet or anything. Not to like attract danger, but to be like
Yeah.
I'm sure the party will find me.
I get you. And to get a sense, it's like you're holding your breath. I get it. It's not like it's gonna make you sick or poisonous. It's just like, think of high school gym. They don't air out their equipment proper. It just smells bad.
Yeah, I'll take a breath every now and then, but for the most part, since I can hold my breath, I suffer.
Yeah.
Especially like when I'm like digging in to like find stuff, like I'm not breathing.
Yeah, I understand. I just wanted to clarify. That's all. Okay. We did this. We did that. We got our potion and salve or lotions. We got potions and lotions for that. We got message from the group. We got this. We got boys that are prepping their spell to get the guys out. Ready to execute? Or what's next?
I'm ready if Al's ready.
I'm gonna double check this wooden letter P I've got. Like, this is our only hope that I'm ready.
Yeah. It looks to be of a fine birch.
Ooh.
That has somehow survived. No. Okay.
I'll tap it a few times. Oh, there's fine acoustics here.
Okay. So how are you gonna do this? Before are I guess nervous but ready to get away from here.
Well, I'll look at Al and say, ready?
Yeah. I'll hope. Yeah. Let's watch for them. But yeah, I'm ready.
So I'll go over to them and I'll kind of make sure they're positioned correctly. Of course, they can be seated. Doesn't really matter. And then I will pull out a a small container that has a yellow paste, if you will, and I kind of put a mark on their hand. This is purely just aesthetic.
Yep, I get it.
And I'll be praying in celestial, basically starting the chant that I'm going to do, and I'll put it each on their hand, and I'll say hand in, and I'll put my hand in there as well, so they have to put their hand on top of mine.
Okay.
And then I will look around and make sure everyone's ready, and then I will cast Word of Recall.
All right, the 6 of you. Um, to give you the sense of what's happening, Ben will say the words. The markings will very quickly flare up and be removed from the hands. What is there a specific room you want to send them to, Ben?
I would say we would come to the main area. I don't
Main
want to go
lobby.
into like
Got
go into something that may have been turned into personal quarters for someone.
Gotcha. So Al and Ben, and they will experience this too. It's kind of like when you see like the like two that the in movies or in film, you kind of see where like two things overlap, and then like it's a brief overlap, then a more constant overlap, and then it starts to like shake and shift. All in a matter of 6 seconds, you see the temple, you don't see the temple, you don't see the temple, and it gets quicker and quicker and quicker, and then all of a sudden you just you land in the entry. The door is open to the spire, Ben, and then you look back, you see the back of the lady, the simple, God, what do you call it? Because you had like a dais, right, that was coming up with the 2 spiral
Yes.
stairs. You see the back of the
Yes.
statue, and you hear birds chirping, and a couple of them have landed on the statue. They turn to see you and then fly off. And you are in the sunlit spire. And as you turn your head and look to one of the hallways down the way, you see beads hanging. No, I'm just kidding.
The place is torched.
You're definitely.
Oh, that would suck. There's cannibals everywhere, and there's blood.
Oh,
I'm
no.
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I will say I will look at the 4 and kind of like motion for them with my hand to stay there, and I will kind of go in and start looking around to see if I can find someone or Sesh.
As you are walking, your armor is clanking around, and then within a few moments, you hear Saj, if you want to, Donnie, or do you want me to be Saj? It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you.
I could be Sej. What a
Just, Ben has
he
arrived.
just clinked
temple.
into the temple.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't expect you back.
You
so
speak
soon.
Celestial, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay, I wanted to make sure I was out of game. So I will explain to
Yeah.
him what has occurred over the last 24 hours, and that we have individuals out front who I've healed them, but their wounds are very grievous, and we thought it best to bring them here so that they could have shelter, food, and assistance.
Oh, of course. They are more than welcome to recover here, and I'll certainly help them. I had a feeling that something was happening. I don't know, to the west. That smell of iron means one thing, and I had faith that you all were taking care of something, and I mean, part of me is kind of glad. Not only do I see you here, that I know that you're all probably safe, but something's probably being taken care of over there by the people I can trust.
It's a lot worse than we originally thought.
Isn't it
it's
always?
Well, this is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, that I have seen. And I'll give him the whole rundown of the potential demigod situation and taking over areas and the temple that we found, and the one creature that threatened us, and I'm just kind of warn. Hopefully, it won't come this way, but you may see more like this coming towards you for assistance.
That is concerning, yes, but have faith. This is a bastion of, well, I'd say Syria, but you know.
Yes, that is appropriate. That is appropriate.
Real quick,
And
Different
then,
Al.
names.
Go ahead. No, you guys go ahead first, Ben.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, Al, you see what you've seen when you see Sej. Ben, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Wait, who?
Give me one
I'm sorry.
sec.
Ben is giving a perception check.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Sedge definitely gets a smiling wave from Al.
21.
Come on.
Oh.
Good to see you again so soon. It's like you
Oh.
never left.
Good to
Says
see you
she's
too.
pregnant.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
You let the
Yeah,
elephant out of the bag.
And it's twins.
Wow.
Sorry, that threw me off. Sej looks to be doing well here. He seems to have his presence very much is complementary to your spire, but you do not pick up on anything per se. Just curious.
Okay.
So the Al, did you bring the individuals with you, or slowly guiding them in, or or did you leave them at the entryway?
I was depending on how long Ben was gone, I was gonna wait for Ben to come back. So I'd probably make a small talk with them, like, yeah, that's more comfortable with the spells. So I'm glad we led with that one. I mean, our plan the entire time was to lead with that one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, see, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, see, yeah. You'll see that the Furbolg will say, "Nice to be back in here."
Ah, see, y'all did visit the temple.
Some of us did from here. I thought I recognized Ba. I forgot who he's. Ben.
Bara Anataha.
Yeah,
Or Ben.
yeah. It's Bon. Some of them know you as Ba, but the first three letters, you know. So
I'll scratch his head. Yeah, I'm that far too right now. I gotta practice that myself. But defaults into Ben. He's let us know that name, and it's a bit easier. Just at least a little bit easier.
thank you for getting us as close to home as here.
We're happy to do anything we can to help out. Hope you can find comfort in this place. The walls are very secure. They have everything we could possibly need.
I hope you are right, because we never thought West Green would get hit. But yes, thank you. I believe you have a lot more to do. We won't be going anywhere, so. And
Cool.
he just kind of just allows himself to kind of just sit and lay back, and they all four of them just kind of, have a first breath of relaxing. Like they exhale properly and are breathing in the air of home.
You'll be safe here. I can guarantee that.
And then yes, Al. Then you would see Ben and Sej discussing. If we want, we could take our break. And then when we get back, we'll reconnect the menagerie, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Cool?
Yeah, I like it.
Cool.
Alright.